Okay, what's the difference? You can close your books. Don't need it. Madeline, can you put your camera? What's the meaning? Can you close your books for me there? What's the difference between mood and tone? The mood of a story and the tone of a story.
Say it's like emotional atmosphere, story.
Okay, emotional atmosphere. What about tone?
I'd say similar to move, but tone with some face
We're gonna go over it, so it's okay if you don't know. Do you want to try or do you want me to? Anyone want to help him out? What tone is? They
What's like a tone of something like voice? I think like
okay, so the voice. So the mood is established by the setting. So a lot of horror is going to have cold, dark nights, storms, a lot of that stuff that throughout the setting is what gives you that unease. Like when you're watching a horror movie, you're not going to see fields of poppy flowers, right? Unless they're running for their lives. You can write it down. I mean, you're not quizzed on it, but if you want to take notes just to have it with you, does anyone need notebook paper? I think we have. Maybe
There might be some up there in one of the back. Maybe the middle back. If not, I have plain white paper.
Anyone need it? Huh? You also need a phone. You get a mechanical one, so for sure. Does anyone else need a piece of notebook paper? Okay, so in the lottery, what is the mood? The first couple of paragraphs, what is the mood?
Jolly.
Jolly, happy. What makes it jolly, happy?
Scenery, but
Everything is calm and quiet. Do you plug your video pushing phone? You sit at this table, come. This one. Yeah. Someone said something and I forgot. It was you. You said, what'd you say?
I remember this was
Yeah. So, just for mood, what are they doing in the first couple of paragraphs that makes it feel very happy, very lively, very, yes.
there's a bunch of children flying around with so
There's children, they're playing around with stones. We all do that. We would try to like skip the stone on the water and then you never could because you just can't get it's something about the wrist. What about story of an hour? What would the mood there be?
I wouldn't say active sound, yeah. But let's say
That's when she had heart problems. Where does the entire story take place?
in the
In her house. Majority of it takes place where though? In a room. So what would the mood be there? Somber, kind of confined, right? You feel very constricted and confined. Do you think the author did that on purpose? Why? Because of the time period, because of the historical part, right? The tone of the piece is established by narration, like today just said, and through word choice, right? So in the yellow wallpaper, do you guys remember that question that asks about syntax and sentence structure? Or diction and syntax, I think it is. Why do you think the word choice is so important in a story? Someone back there. Sydney, Denia, or Sean? There's not a wrong answer. It's why do you want to phone a friend? You want to phone a friend? Does anyone want?
He's the person, I'll try.
Why do you think word choice is so important in a story?
Is there no answers? Okay.
Just why do you think? What's your opinion on it?
Okay, so like you can see like the mood and like the normal like like that.
You can see the mood. Okay, so you think the word choice helps convey the mood? Madeline?
Because it's like descriptive and it
Descriptive for what?
like the setting and like the environment.
It gives you that background, right? And it's also important too because do you guys remember where I mentioned in the yellow wallpaper the phrase she confesses or I confessed? And how that's a very odd diction to use, I confess, when she had done nothing wrong. So a lot of it's going to revolve around time period. What is the author trying to convey? So what is tone? Yes.
Some diction can also be helped through connotations or words like you said.
Yeah. So what would be some tone? What would be some word choices that are used in the lottery that help us get to the mood? It's sunny outside. What about when the hush kind of falls over the crowd, right? Everyone's real silent. And that's when you kind of start picking up that, like, something's kind of off here, right? Something's kind of weird. So, again, we're back to the horror story. That storm, right, in Jaws, something's happening. But it's that music that is going to give you that feeling. It's what the narrator's saying is going to give you that feeling, right? We know when our main character goes into an abandoned house, we're screaming at them the whole time, don't go in the basement. Don't go in the basement. They always go in the basement. But it's going to be what the narrator's saying, right? Because usually at that point, there's that flashback happening, right? Where they're learning more about whatever paranormal monster they're looking at. It's like the nun, I think the last one, she goes in, and the whole time, you're already creeped out because it's a creepy movie. The whole time, it's giving you more and more and more background information on just how evil this character is, right? So, how would you identify from the last two paragraphs the tone of the lottery? What happens in the last two paragraphs?
It's confirmed that she is like the one that got the other thing quick.
Yeah, so it's confirmed.
And then the last one basically gets stoned.
Right. Do you guys remember what she says, the ending line of the story?
It's not fair, it's not right.
It isn't fair, it isn't right, right? So what would that convey to you through tone? What tone does that give you? A panic? Mimi's already said ironic, right? So it gives you panic, it gives you irony. Why does it give you irony? There's irony throughout the whole story, right? Yes, Morgan.
So initially she's just fine with the system and goes along with it, but once it turns on her, she's the one who's against it.
Yeah. They're always fine with the system until it happens to them, right? And then they're not so fine with the system anymore. So we're gonna do this. Write an ending for the lottery that matches the mood of the beginning. So what's our mood in the beginning?
Cheerful.
Cheerful, jovial, joyful. What should our mood be when you rewrite the ending?
So it's YouTube.
Happy, joyful. Maybe, maybe you do change it. Maybe she wins $1 million, right? So everyone needs to just write really quick. You can do it on the back sheet of your paper. You can kind of just type it up, whatever it is, and then one person from each group will get a share. No, you're taking the stoning out because the stoning doesn't match our mood. So it's what would you change that to? You need a piece of notebook. You need a pencil. You need a pencil.
Oh.
So you didn't read our story with us, did you? You were here Monday. So you read the story. What did we do yesterday? We did our essays and did those questions and our vocab quiz. Yeah, you gotta take that. I wanna say yes. I don't wanna lie. I don't 100% know. But you think I did?
Because no, when we have to, when we put time in the morning, yeah, because we're going to those like,
I've been doing. Y'all, I'm not doing the experiment. It changes your grade when I put it in. So not bad. Oh, look at that. Thanks for bringing that up to me. Actually, go ask the sellers to look at what I did wrong, please. No, you can't go after description on. It's not doing that with everything else.
I'm fixing it.
Thank you. Turn the air down for you, Janelle. How are you? Still working. Cindy, you're good? Yeah, still.
You start off with a bullet. All right, it's big. That looks a little bit.
Thanks. I did that one other time by accident, but I
So
got it. Yeah, that pencil. Oh, you backups. What's up there? Yeah, are you guys one, I was going to go through the movement. It's important. Go even second questions. But for today, when I have the line and the one or whatever, it just have it on. I'm gonna grab you. I vibrated when I think of it. I said I haven't heard that. Sydney, I know you think I'm crying, and it's okay. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to think I'm funny. I was telling Miss Sellers yesterday, she was like, you have a really dry sense of humor. And I was like, well, that's because of it. And I was like, my boyfriend tries to make jokes. See, because he thinks he's really being funny, and I know I'm just. That's you did. No, actually rewrite it. When I can think that's it, it does not say that you put this face you. There's some major. Okay, something we need to talk about, but we know. Let's talk. Okay, who still needs time? You just like to call him out. Clark, you're gonna be my timekeeper for today, since this advising you to let me know when we're on
9:35.
9:35. All right, Clark, let me know when it's 9:30. I gotta get Clark talking food. Sean will talk. I just need him to actually ask me the boost. Alright, we're gonna move forward to the next one, okay? And then. While you guys are writing, I want you to do the same thing, but now you're gonna rewrite the beginning so it has the same tone as the ending. So now you've got an ending that has the same mood, which means you change the tone. Now you need a beginning that would match the original ending. So now you need a happy ending and a kind of like freaky, creepy, sad, okay? Beginning. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, Emily, I don't think there's a way for me to do a timer on here. Maybe there is. That's yesterday's school stuff.
You can do it, so things calm it down. Yeah, fine.
Your mouse doesn't work.
Yeah.
Got 10 minutes for this one. So I don't want you guys to stress it. Like, it's not.
One person from each table is sharing.
I want, yeah. I mean, I would prefer one person, but yeah, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I prefer at least one person.
Listen, you come here.
Do you have a question or Sean?
I do.
So, okay, at the end it's a dark out story. What would the beginning be? Would you still have a sunny, a super happy day, or would it be kind of like in the Hunger Games where it's kind of stormy about everything? Yeah. So I want you don't do the first one, just do the extra number two, just rewrite the beginning. And just make it kind of gloomy. You remember in the back of my piece? It's nothing bad so it's not gonna be super simple, right? When you put where like almost infer immediately. Something's off. For some, I mean, how do I know if they're charged if they're on the light?
It says like on the corner, what is you?
Like 7. You can just make the alternate beginning. So make the beginning kind of gloomy or wouldn't be, yeah, the beginning. So you wouldn't make it super happy. It wouldn't be one where it's like super sunny. It would be more gloomy, more rainy. So that's what I'm. Share the exercise number 1 where we adjusted the ending.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So. It's Tessie, Mr. Somerset. His voice was touched. So what's your favorite bill? Bill Dan Batina.
No, you're fine.
Bill then proceeds to take the paper from his wife's hand and find out the neighbor had a green marking similar with the last one that he can own. What's it? I think it's
It's Mr. Summers and Mr. Graves, I believe, to do the markings.
You did great.
sorry. Neighbor or as to which confused Bill says they use since there's usually a black marking with. He proceeds to ask Mr. Summers what the second is. Mr. Summers then announced that Tessie had just won $1 million. Tessie Sox knowing that her life has been very pretty awful this year.
Okay. Anyone else want to share their beginning? Deja, Ryan. You have a lot written. Just let me hear. I can read it. Can I read it out loud or just to myself? Your ending too. Anyone want to share their ending? Are we still working on this?
I'll be sure and say,
Okay.
second.
Sean, you're gonna share your ending, right? You're gonna share your ending. The ending or beginning? It's a new beginning. This one? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, we're gonna read it out. Yeah, just still working. You have about 30 more seconds if you are still working. Johnny, fine. It's fine. Don't stress it. This assignment or just your day kind of? Both. Oh, thinking one. Alright, Sean. Read it out loud, loud and proud. You can choose either one to read. You wrote two, right? You wrote an ending and a beginning. Choose whichever one. Oh, speak up.
Rain came down hard, loud, late, I think, orange, everywhere side. Tree going, no damage. It was just a dark gray sky. And she was trying hard not to think about a black hole. Or the bad luck if they gonna talk about it. Their parents were really gonna come speak of it. One day every year, it's a real black hole. So much romantic would be someone we never see.
Okay, like it. Alright. Anyone else want to share? Morgana?
Go to the read my beginning.
You'd like me to read your, can I read it out loud?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you're good. You go.
The morning air was drab and still, as the dreaded day of June 27th had arrived. The village square was unnervingly quiet. Parents hugged their children close to them, and they all dreaded the sound of Mr. Somers' bell. Other villages had to start much earlier than others, but this village had dwindled so much that it only took them a couple of hours to finish. Mr. Somers emerged with the ringer of his bell, holding the dilapidated box within his hand. The children slowly enclosed upon the circle, tightly gripping their stones within their hands, knowing what they would have to do.
I like it. So, when you guys were rewriting your beginning, did you have to alter the setting to convey the same tone? Madeline, put it up. Did you have to alter the setting in the beginning? Or is it the same setting? So are your kids still outside gathering stones? Where are they? A lot of them are inside. Why? It's gloomy. They know it's coming. It's rainy. So when you change that mood and that tone, right? Because the mood is conveyed through what? This tone. The mood is conveyed through. Oh, Sean said it. Said it. Say it louder. The setting. The mood is conveyed through setting, right? So if you had to change your setting, does that change the mood? To what? It depends. So if you had made it to where you changed your setting to, like some of you did gloomy, that gives off this kind of like fearful, scared, I don't know how to feel about this kind of vibe. Whereas if you did more of like a, like kind of like how Morgana did, it's more of a what is happening? You know, kind of anxious mood, anxious vibe, right? So what's another way that we could have, what about the yellow wallpaper? How does the mood progress through that? The setting stays the same. So what helps the, yes,
The narrator is slowly losing her mind.
slowly losing her mind. What about tone? How does the tone change through it? Yeah, the tone gets different. At the beginning, what does she feel? How does she feel about the yellow wallpaper?
She doesn't like it.
She doesn't like it. Do you guys remember the word that she uses? She says it's horrid. She says it's awful. Right? And then she goes on to just talk about it. Do you guys remember we were reading it? And she would talk about John for a little bit, and then we're right back to this wallpaper. And then talk about John for a little bit, and then we're right back to this wallpaper. Right? So it's just not. It's not. Okay. So does the tone of the lottery match the mood of the lottery? Not at first? Why not at first? And who agrees with him first? Who agrees that it's not Sydney? Why not at first? It's optimistic. So which one's optimistic, the mood or the tone? The mood. So what does the tone do that's not optimistic? It's too normal. Right? Okay. What's this word here? We've been pounding it into your heads. What's the 3 different types of irony?
Situational, emotional.
Ooh. Situational, verbal, dramatic. What is situational? The opposite of what you think is going to happen happens. Verbal, sarcasm, right? And dramatic. We know something the character doesn't know. Who's on third, right? I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. But when mood and tone contradict each other, it generates irony, okay? Now I want you guys to look at this. I was going to give it to you as this to do, but I don't think I put it in your... Someone check and see if I put this in your Google Classroom. I don't think I did. Yeah, okay. I'm going to give you little sheets of paper. You can just draw. Here we go. So why would a mood map be useful? A story can have multiple moods. A mood map is also a graphic organizer of sorts, and it helps you organize your thoughts, right? So just real quick, we can again shut our Chromebooks. We don't need them, guys. Real quick, just draw what's kind of up here. Real quick, guys. It's just a box and like 6 circles, 6 ovals. So in the beginning, right, which is gonna be this one over here, beginning, what is our first move? How do I make, Janai, how do I make the thing stay if I write on it?
You have to close with the tablet about the traits
What remote? What remote?
Miss Sellers, don't you have a remote to your?
Do you have a remote? Yeah, do you have a remote to this?
Yes. Think possible.
Someone read our, oh, no, someone doesn't read everything here. Morning of June 27th was clear and sunny, with the fresh warmth of a full summer day. The flowers were blossoming profusely, and the grass was richly green. The people of the village began to gather in the square between the post office and the bank around 10 o'clock. In some towns, there were so many people that the lottery took 2 days and had to be started on June 2nd. But in this village, where there were only about 300 people, the whole lottery took less than 2 hours. So it could begin at 10 o'clock in the morning and still be through in time to allow the villagers to get home for noon dinner. What words, or what's our mood? Happy? Happy. Why? What are words in there that are happy? If you guys need to, you can get the lottery open on your Chromebooks. Know what the remote looks like too. And it says what?
Yeah, it's a bundle that says ratings.
That's good. Nini, what are some words in the beginning that make us think happy in the beginning paragraph of the lottery?
True expression.
So like what words exactly from our first paragraph?
Sunny.
Sunny. Okay. What are some more?
Blossoming.
Flowers are blossoming. More. I think. Richly green. Okay. So do you guys see how to do this? Okay. What I want you to try to do is go through on your lottery. Go through and see if you can't find the next paragraph's mood. Actually, let's do the next couple of paragraphs mood. Okay? Make sense? Everyone in agreement? Cool. There's one better right on it. From the whole board, because I've never been trying to write on it.
Oh, you're not be with me, though.
Yeah, you.
Oh,
I was at that one, they said she goes, you need to freeze it.
I don't have anything promoted.
I don't even know.
Take it was.
I still have said it turned
No.
on.
They've given us no training on them. They just put them up. And First year we had them, if that board was up, you couldn't even access. So it's been, yeah.
Figure out if there's enough. Yeah. They can have the same room. Yeah. Do what you can for right now, and then we'll kind of go over it a little bit. You can combine paragraphs if you want to, yeah. But
So for each paragraph or for separate?
you can just kind of go through, and for a chunk of them, if they all have the same mood, you can put that down. Does that make sense?
See how it goes. We do. That door will shut by itself, then I'm telling you. You be up here at night by yourself. It's,
I was trying to, it said if you hold the same button and close it, like if you were still on that. So what did we get for the next couple paragraphs? You put the same thing? What would that mean? What do you mean? Happy? Why? What words did you put? The children were playing. Okay. Janaya?
From the second paragraph, I can pull that for consensus of both of them, things like that. I think that's when you like kind of about town or something like that. And then we might need to like better to get them quietly and have some ordinary like peace. So
Okay. Anyone else?
sure.
You put what? Secretive. Okay.
Because in the paragraph, I would get it.
Okay. So we could have secretive. We could have happy. Janaya, what did you say yours was?
I put see
Eerie or easy?
that agree.
All right. Someone from Mimi's group. What did we put? What was our mood? Let's get on task over at that table, please. Clark, what'd you put? Uneasy. Okay. We've got uneasy. What were the words if you put secretive? What word was the reason why? Hesitation. Okay. Happy. You said because children were playing. Yes, no, maybe so. Eerie. What were the word choices you put down? Janai. What were the word choices that made you pick eerie?
Silly,
Uneasily?
yeah, and then also it was something about, I think it was one of the kids like he clung to his brother's hand or something like that.
Okay, so the child clung to their hand. Alright, and then for Clark, why did you pick uneasy? What word choices? They kept their distance. Okay. Someone read the next couple paragraphs. What time is it? Okay. Actually, let's scroll kind of all the way down. When they first realize that it's the Hutchinson family, right? Someone find that paragraph.
It's that Somerset and his voice of that was her paper though. So Hutchinson went over to his wife and forced the slip of paper out of her hand. It had a blank spot on it. The blank spot as if Summers had made the night before with a heavy pencil from the pole on the office. Bill Hutchinson headed up and thumbs up in her stern.
Okay. What would the mood be for that?
Shock.
Shock. Okay. Why shock?
Sure.
Okay. So the word quiet leads to shock. What else? What about after that? When she's like, but you didn't give him enough time, guys. We should, or before that, actually, you didn't give him enough time, guys. We should start over. We should start over. We should start over. Antsy. Okay.
Panic.
Panic. These are big words. Y'all are like mostly 11th graders. We should know bigger words than panic. Unnerved. Okay. What would be another one? Could this one be happy? Could this one be happy like the first one? Could it be secretive? Yes? No?
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. Do we know yet? I mean, we still don't really know, so it's kind of confusing. Yeah. So it's still kind of confusing. Right? Alright. Does mood and tone make sense? Yes? Okay. So, we are going to go to our discussion questions and we are going to do them. Alright, someone read the first question out loud. Oh, whoa, what? No, unfortunately not. But that's why the text is so big. You can also come up here if you want to. Okay, out. What role does tradition play in the lottery?
So they have a choice because, there's no ticket for tradition.
Yeah, they have no choice because they have to keep their tradition. What's another thing? Clark, what role does tradition play? No, these are new questions. It's okay, calm down. These are just new questions. You're okay. This is on, I'm gonna put this in Google Classroom. You guys have a tendency to look at stuff before you get here. And then some of you have already done it before you get here. And then you're just sitting. This is gonna be put in app, okay? It's okay. Calm down. I just wanted to go over this with you. What role does tradition play in the lottery? Nini said they have no choice, they have to do it, right? What's another way it plays a role? What is? You guys go. One more time, Josiah. Okay, they do it every year, so they're used to it. Morgana?
They almost feel an obligation to go through with it and murder their neighbor.
And murder their neighbors. Okay, so they feel obligated. Who else? That's just who else? So they feel like they have no choice, right? Have no choice. They have an obligation. How does it affect the characters and their actions? That obligation, what's it do? They know it's gonna happen, so it tenses them up. So, what would be a way you would put evidence from the text in here? Okay. What about the ending where her son gathers pebbles? Could that be textual evidence for this? Which one would be better, when the son gathers it or when they're all standing around? When the son gathers it, why? Because it contains the tradition. It shows you that the tradition means more than what? Than her life, family, bonds. Who was the first person to grab a rock? Her friends. Miss Delacroix, right? So when you guys are finding evidence from the text, be very careful that you're not just picking something random, right? Be very careful that it matches up with the text, okay? How does the setting of the lottery contribute to the overall mood and tone of the story? Jada? What is the setting, first off? The village, really small village. What is the mood and tone? Uneasy. So how does that setting contribute to that mood and tone? If it were a big bustling village full of life, would that really contribute? So how does that really tiny, really small, really dreary town contribute to that mood and tone? Someone help her out. Sydney? You don't know? Renaya? How does the really small village help contribute to the mood and tone? Give them a chance, guys. They're just as smart. They're just a little more shy. Like I said, would it be the same mood and tone if it were a big bustling city? No. Why?
Because everyone, small towns, like, everyone knows everyone.
It's a small town, everyone knows everyone, so that gives you that sense of like betrayal when Miss Delacroix picks up the rock. It also shows you that they've been doing the lottery for a while, right? As Morgana said, the things had dwindled down so much, right? So, what would be examples from the text? How would you do this? You don't have to directly quote right now, but what would an example be? How long does it take our village to get through the lottery? 2 hours. How long does it take other villages? 2 days. Would that or would that not be textual evidence to support the small town? It would be. What is the symbolism behind the black box? Do you guys remember that? What color does black symbolize? Death. What is the symbolism behind the black box? Like a coffin? You are so right. I wish you would just. A coffin? Does someone die? Yeah. So is it foreshadowing? So what's some more symbolism? What do we have? It's do you guys remember that it's not fully black? Parts of it are black and then parts of it have wood chipping off. What could that symbolize? It's been going on for a long time. It symbolizes that maybe part of, someone knows something that we don't know. They know something, right, that we don't know. So the whole thing is not entirely black. We don't know why it's black. It could symbolize the chipping away of wanting to do this tradition, right? Who is the one person who does not want to stop this tradition? Old Man Warner. Everyone else stopped it. So remember, today you're calling the North classy and bougie. The North has stopped it. Well, it's okay because we can stop it too. It'll be okay. And Old Man Warner's like, nah, gosh, these kids. So the black box. How does the lottery represent the theme of tradition? We already got that, right? Old Man Warner wants to. It's chipping away, which symbolizes, Deja, I love how you said that. It symbolizes what? Yeah, it's chipping away. It's their desire to do this is chipping away. How does it also represent the dark side of human nature? Sean. How does it? You give me that look every time. You're just so quiet. I mean, I can try Clark or Renaya. They talk a little less than me. But I just picked on Renaya, so I can't pick on her again. And I think I just picked on Clark, so you're it. How does this story show the dark side of human nature? Perfect. Even if they knew someone for their entire life, they still do that. Old Man Warner had to watch these people grow up, right? And he picks up a thing and a rock and tosses it at her head, and it's like, "Come on, guys, like let's get going." Yeah, they gave her 2 and 3-year-old little pebbles. Okay, so we've gone over some specific examples. Oh. Two examples of irony are the jovial. What's jovial? Happy, joyous. The jovial conversation among the villagers before the lottery, and the choice of the word lottery itself. So explain why these are irony. Clark, explain why these are irony. Why is it ironic that they're having such a happy conversation? Yeah, it's so that what type of irony would that be? situational. So yeah, it shows you that they're super happy, and then at the end it totally switches up, right? What about the choice of the word lottery? Angel. The choice of the word lottery, why would that be irony? What do we think of when we hear the word lottery? What is the connotation of that? What do we think of?
Well, raffle for money.
Money, happy money. So when we see that this is indeed not a happy lottery, right? Do you guys remember Kamani in the back going like, something's off? Something's off. Yeah, I mean,
Documentary is a yellow wallpaper also the irony and like second surprise and it says that they are looking for surprise because
yeah.
it's the fact that they're getting something dramatic.
Yeah, they're getting something dramatic. And the irony has been in a lot of our stories. You guys, if you look hard enough, you could probably find irony in anything. You know, so so how do these examples of irony contribute to the overall tone? Madeline? How do these examples of irony contribute to the overall tone?
Like, it's, like confusing.
Okay, it confuses us. What about that eerie feeling that Janai was talking about? Does it push that feeling?
Yeah.
How?
Like, you don't know what's going to happen.
You don't know what's gonna happen. It almost feels like a betrayal too when you get down to the end and you're like, why are you guys being so happy, right? I mean, if it were me, I probably wouldn't be joking with my neighbor. I'd be like, oh, I kind of hope it's you because you guys can let your grass at 3 in the morning. Like that's what I wouldn't be talking to you, right? I mean, I probably wouldn't make friends in this town. I'm gonna leave the rest for you guys to do in Google Classroom. But I want to talk about our stories. What is a common theme that every single one of these stories have had?
Eerie tone.
Eerie tone, okay. Some type of so kind of a sad ending. He passes out, but what happens to her? I mean, that's not even a sad thing. She's just crazy. Every single one of our stories has had some form of oppression in it, right? Desiree's baby, what was our oppression there? Who was oppressed? Desiree. Desiree, who did the oppressing? Janiyah. Her husband. Who else is oppressed in that story? The slaves. Right? Just as like, oh yeah, that part. Yeah, no. So, do you guys see how easy it was to forget about that part? Or do you guys see how quickly we were to jump to the husband was wrong instead of the actual oppressed? Story of an hour. Who's oppressed? The wife. Who's the oppressor? What'd you say then? Is it her husband? No. What'd you say? No. Think more society, right? The husband never beat her. He never hated her. He never said he didn't love her. But she had to marry someone she didn't love, right? So even though this man tried to do everything he could for her, she didn't have the choice, right? I mean, you guys can grow up to decide whether or not you want to continue your education, whether you want to get married, whether you want to just go adopt some babies and go live your life as a single, independent woman, right? She didn't have that choice. After that, we read the yellow wallpaper. Who's oppressed there? Jane, our narrator. Who is the oppressor? We technically have two. Her brother and her husband. Okay, I'll take that as one. Sean? I like that, but I'm going to come back to that. I like your stance on that. Who was our oppressor in the story of an hour, Clark? What did I just say? society, right? So again, she had to get married. But this husband is worse than our story of an hour husband, right? Why? He pushes her to believe there's nothing wrong with her. What else does he do? He does a lot. Pick a different word than closes her in. I want bigger
Presses her?
words. He what?
Presses her and sounds her.
Oppresses her and silences her. He entraps her. Entrap. See? You just put a little 2 letters on it. Oh, did you say enclosed? I thought you said closed. Okay. So he also doesn't let her take her own medicine. Y'all, she has no autonomy over herself. Right? I am Malala. Who's oppressed? Malala. Why is she oppressed?
Because she's a woman.
Say it loud.
Because she's a woman.
She's oppressed because she's a woman, right? There's a very big theme there, right? Just kidding. Who oppressed her? The Taliban. What they do to the very young child?
She shot
Shot her in the face. What did she do after that? Louder.
She said while she was on the board.
Which was? What's that big word that you're writing your essay on?
Advocate.
Advocating. She kept advocating. Sean, if you don't stop telling her the answers and answer yourself, I'm gonna put a mic on you. You know those videos you see on TikTok, like Travis Scott, it's not Travis Scott, that's not a thing I know. The Travis Kelsey, mic'd up, or like Mahomes mic'd up. That's what I'm fixing to do to you. And I'm gonna just have it in like an earpiece to hear what you say. This story, who is oppressed? Mhm. What about Mr. Summers? Is he oppressed? He runs the thing.
They oppression.
Really? What if he draws the card?
It's not.
He did pull a card.
Yeah, it's not. It's kind of.
Why do you think he won't get it? It's rigged. What did you say?
He's been doing it for so long. He probably.
That's old man Warner who's been doing it for 77 years. But I get you. I get you. Josiah, what did you say? He runs it. Okay. So, do you guys think if he can't be oppressed, would he be the oppressor? Probably. I think it's more against society, right? But I like y'all's stance that he's a secret oppressor, or like he's secretly in charge, you know? Maybe that's why his name is Mr. Summers. Maybe it's because like he knows he's not gonna die, right? Clark, what's my time? I got like 7 minutes. Okay, how are your essays coming along? You need help with, is it in writable? Who does not have their essay in writable currently? Just raise your hand. Jada, that table, Jaya, you got yours in? Alright. It is due by Friday. Now, I like you guys and you guys have been working very hard. So if we need more time than Friday, I don't mind giving that to you. But only if you are close to being done by Friday. So if you have like 2-3 sentences in there, no. Right? If you are pretty much done, you just need to go back on your grammar. Yeah, right. I don't want you guys to stress it, right? I just want to see 1, your writing style. 2, how much you know about MLA format for when we do essays further on down the line, right? I'm a big MLA format guy. I love it. I would marry it if I could. Okay, I hate APA format. I hate it. I'm 2 majors, so I do MLA for English and APA for education, and I hate it. I feel like I'm cheating on it. So a lot of you, pretty much everyone who has their essay in writable has AI feedback on it, right? I gave you my own feedback and then I loaded in some AI feedback specifically for your paper. Look at that feedback. Yes, capiche? Capiche? Well, the correct answer is capoche, but I appreciate the capiche, right? All right. Is there anything we are confused on about our essays? Yes.
Like the AI keep going up to correct my grammar.
short quotation, some difficult.
Okay, if you have AI or like a spell check that's telling you your quotation is wrong, you ignore it. Because if you are directly quoting something, you can't change what that quote is. Okay? You ignore it. That's on that person for not doing their grammar right. I won't count you off for your grammar if it's someone else's word. Right? Renee, can you end that video for me so I can from what's up? We have a couple